happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Kenn Bosak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Kenn Bosak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. Some Kenn bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. We're 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 gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get your Kenn Bosak.
Okay.
Woo.
And we're live, bros.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, that came in hot and loud. Sorry about that, chat.
Sorry, guys. That's Ken's fault. He's on the volume. I'm not yelling all the time. It's not me.
Yeah, I'm just trying to balance it out. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in today. I appreciate the live stream. Looks like we're popping over here on Twitter and the YouTube. Oh, wow. We got people watching on Facebook as well. All right, all the platforms are here. Jeremy Crow, how goes it? That opening track is fire. Thank you, Jeremy Crow. Shout out to the Uplift. That is M Blue and Corey right there on the vocals. Thanks for, yeah, I love that song. Thank you, guys. Co-host is here as always, Nathan, and we have two guests. Roundtable time. We got Steve and we have Nicole. Nicole, how goes it?
Good. How about you?
Goes well. Just been chilling and shilling my NFTs. You know, living my cartoon lifestyle.
Yeah? I see it in the background.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm living in that Roger Rabbit movie. You know, as a kid, I always wanted that, and now it's like, shit, I kind of feel like, you know, that's where I'm at right now. It's like, we're at that Roger Rabbit. It makes more sense
that you're there. Like, for some reason, you feel better in this environment than, like, in the real world. I like you better. I like you better there. Like, it just fits good.
I gotta get an overlay. I gotta get an overlay design that uses AI, so it's a cartoon of me that just, like, tracks me in real time. Like, what's that girl that's a streamer on Twitch? She's like a hot cartoon. Never been so turned on by a cartoon before.
Never? Not even.
It happens.
No, I mean, I have been turned on by cartoons before, just not as much. I forget her name. She's on Twitch. She's, like, super funny, bro. For all I know, it's a dude. I have no clue. But
it is.
The art's hot. Her character, her personality is hot. I mean, at that point,
hot art.
What even matters, you know? Let me just slide into the DMs and change that relationship status. I'm saying.
Yeah, as long as the art's hot, right? That's all that matters these days.
Right? Yo, Steve, we need to get you some art, bro. Look at that plain white background. Where you at, man?
Yeah, get in here.
Yeah, I'm going with the minimalist, man. I'm the word up. Virtual handshake to all.
Yo, turn your phone the other way. Quality increased by at least 30% right there.
Gang. And CryptoCake is all about quality.
Yeah, it is. No, I wanted to jump in with a little bit of that real quick. Shout out to CryptoCake. Check it out, CryptoCakeTV on YouTube. I know BitBoy's got videos on there, and obviously you see me rocking the swag as we speak. Steve, we lost your video and your audio. You're muted.
Oh no.
We lost Steve.
He's floating through the metaverse, untethered.
We got him back.
Oh, there he
Sorry,
is.
my bad.
Nope, all good. And it goes again.
It's your good, is what it is.
All right, perfect. That looks way better. Oh, and it's gone again.
We love you, bro.
So I wanted you to let people know a little bit about CryptoCakeTV, man. We've seen you at conferences, and now that everything's going well in the world and in the crypto sphere, CryptoCake's kind of coming back with a vengeance of content. Obviously, I'm rocking the swag. That means something, right? So I wanted to let people know a little bit about that. But first, let people know a little bit about CryptoCakeTV. You know what it started, what it is, and where it's going.
Absolutely. Well, about 3 years ago, I had worked in the public markets, and I had the idea to start a dedicated cryptocurrency network, kind of like the CNBC of cryptocurrency. And this was right prior to the ICO craze. And then the bear market hit, and things kind of went south a little bit, to be honest. We created some pilots, and I was thinking about, packing it in. But then, of course, the last 6 months, everyone's been contacting me like crazy because, crypto is now mainstream.
Yep.
And, the goal is to have a dedicated channel through social media, like the Barstool Sports of crypto meets the CNBC on the streaming television side. But it's been quite the challenge. And it's sort of a little bit paradoxical being a publicly traded company, but preaching decentralization. So you can't, as much as we preach decentralization, it's impossible to be fully decentralized.
Well, you got to go the SLC punk route at some point, right? It's easier to disrupt the system from inside the system, and sometimes conformality isn't too bad if you know that you're the Trojan horse, and that's your responsibility at that point to be the Trojan horse, and at some point, drain that proverbial swamp.
Yeah. And the time is just right for this sort of thing anyway. I mean, like you said, you've been contacted by everybody recently. People want it. I'm just happy that you're the one that's going to give it to them because we like you.
I hope so. And we also want to eventually maybe have our own marketplace. And then we want to get involved with the casters as well. So eventually we want to maybe white label some of Zende's casters. Because we truly, and basically our channel would be like a sort of a vertical integration into, having people, for lack of a better word, maybe market or show off their IPs. And then the next step would be to purchase a caster.
Yeah, very cool.
Have you ever seen them, Nicole? Sorry to interrupt, Nathan. I'm just curious if she ever
it's all good.
You never saw the Zen Vibe casters? They're like
blown away.
They're like digital picture frames, but you have to sign in with your MetaMask. Not really like giving up your private keys. You just have to like pair your wallet like you would if you went to Uniswap and sign in with MetaMask. If you want to display your art on this digital picture frame, you actually have to like own the fucking art. You can't just like.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah.
It's bougie for sure. Because I could get a digital picture frame from Samsung for like $10 at Walmart and put a $69 million Beeple screenshot up on there. But when somebody walks into my office and looks at it, it's like, oh, cool, you got a screenshot. But if they saw a Zen Vibe and saw Beeple art, they're going to know immediately like, oh, you own that.
Yeah. It's going to be a huge status symbol. It's going to be very easy to recognize.
I was just about to say it's a status symbol.
But also eventually someone from South Africa can maybe swap art from someone in Kansas, through the casters. So it's not just a status symbol. It's more of a connecting the world.
Oh, for sure. I see billboards. I don't understand why Zen Vibes doesn't have a billboard on a highway where I could pay X amount of money to cast, my art and have a QR code next to it that somebody driving by could, if they're sitting in the passenger seat, hopefully not driving, right? They could just like swoop, got it. Oh, this is where I could buy it. Or they could see the website and just go to like Zen Vibes, whatever, and see my art. But yeah, this is some real high level interactive, way to connect the real world to your digital assets.
Exactly. And this is the stuff we want to cover. And we would love to have a show with, 12-year-olds and under making NFTs and talking about the NFTs they made, and they can learn self-sovereignty. They can learn, that they have 100% ownership of their own creation. So at a very young age, they learn the importance and value of their own work and what it's worth to them.
Yeah, kids are doing this already with that. What's that bead art that the kids can melt, Nicole? You know what I mean, right?
Yeah. We play with it. Like, I don't know, my daughter, we like aqua beads better.
Yeah, something like that.
Use an iron, but yeah, it's the same.
So kids
same
in
thing.
school will make like cool cartoon character ones, and they'll trade them to each other or buy them off each other, trade lunch. Like my nephew's doing it, and I'm like, bro, you hustling these little, I don't even know, iron pixel, things. I'm like, go for it. Like, so yeah, it would be great to see the kids getting more involved. And there are many. I've seen a few using EOS, a couple are using Ethereum. Some kids are getting involved in Wax. All the different blockchains that are around using NFT technology. I do see some kids, using it, and it's good to see that growing for sure.
Yeah, it's going to usher in a new generation of like not only children, like business people, like they learn the business growing up and they're super successful because of it, but also promoting just creativity.
Well, not just that, dude. Imagine if you could have gotten a Picasso from when he was like a 2-year-old finger painting doodles.
There's another thing.
Like, hey, one of these kids could potentially grow up to be like an architect of a skyscraper or what. I don't know, but
yeah, you're going to have investors speculating on like 5-year-olds.
That's
basically
exactly, bro.
It's gonna be kind of weird. Like people are like, this kid's gonna grow up to be something.
This kid's gonna be somebody. I'm buying their exactly.
Does that start a whole new generation of like these bewildered child stars that grow up?
Thank you. Yes.
You can look at the flip side, because how many kids have been screwed over doing art now? I mean, like, there's stories of boy bands that work in boy bands for like 9 years and don't see a penny, or someone with, some prodigy art kid, makes art and then it goes all to a foundation. He doesn't see a penny. I mean, there's the flip side of it. So yeah, I mean, it might create like 5-year-old millionaires, but
or just your classic like Danny Bonaducci scenario.
Right. But
like there's any of that stuff too.
Right. But at the same time, the 5-year-old won't be screwed over by someone else. So it's a double-edged sword.
Absolutely.
So I've already heard of them making cards, like NFT player cards for kids who are anticipated to be really good athletes, like at the, Olympic training centers where they have young kids because they've already shown a great deal of promise, and they're like taking their photos every year and making these chain NFTs with them that people are collecting because they're speculating that in 15 years, this, NFT collection of this kid's photos and stats will be valuable.
Damn.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. I mean, that's scary though, isn't it? Because like, what if I want to short your kid's, portfolio?
But the opportunity.
I just break your kid's fucking ankle at Walmart and run, and now like, there goes your Olympic future. I just fucking manipulated the market.
But like with NBA Top Shot, if you could get a 15-year-old high school basketball LeBron James, can you imagine how much that would be?
Exactly. If I could,
that's insane.
That's exactly the kids in high school right now. Their parents with the fucking cameras. It used to be like that. Now they have their iPhones.
They've got it.
You got your kid doing a dunk at the high school game, going nuts. They go viral on Twitter all the time. NFT that shit, because if your kid grows up to be LeBron James, you got fuck a rookie card. You know what I'm saying?
Nike
yeah, but wouldn't LeBron?
And you're on a commercial all of a sudden.
Yeah, but what about the IP rights? That's like what's vague, because if you take a picture of LeBron James when he's 5 years old, let's say, or the future LeBron James, and then you sell that as an NFT, wouldn't LeBron James have a piece of it? Because
I don't think so. I mean, how's Getty Images work right now, right? If I'm a professional photographer at a public venue and you're in the middle of the mall and you're a celebrity, if I take your photo in the mall and sell it on Getty Images and TMZ buys it for their front cover, the photographer, got all the money, because you know what I mean? Like I see NFTs making Getty Images the blockbuster of images. It's going to be so obsolete. Yep. Getty Images is the first to go during this wave. If they don't get involved in NFTs. If Getty Images doesn't fucking get involved in it, they're fucked.
They really
They're
should.
Blockbuster.
That's a great point.
They're Tower
Getty, call
Records,
us.
but for images.
That's
That
crazy.
watermark
Can you imagine trying to
doesn't
mint all
mean
those?
anything, bro.
Nope.
But the
Dude.
metadata means everything.
Just minting that would cost a fortune. They have like a
On
billion
Wax,
images.
but I mean, you'd be good if you do it on Ethereum. You're screwed. I mean, there's other blockchains, and they could do their own. They could just have Giddy blockchain. They could do their own thing. Like they don't.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of,
Giddy
but,
chain.
you know, you can mint NFTs on layer 2 on Ethereum now
Yeah.
for nothing.
Yeah,
So-
but that's like a coupon for an NFT. It's not. It's like Lightning to me isn't Bitcoin. It's like a coupon for Bitcoin. It's redeemable Bitcoin. It's redeemable for Bitcoin. A second layer NFT is a coupon for an NFT. Because if you want it on layer 1, you're gonna have to pay for it. So you're gonna have to fill out that redeem form, shipping and handling form. You literally got a fucking
Yeah, but
a
if you
Cracker
wanted to
Jack
spec-
box prize that you have to fill out the form to redeem.
Okay, but say that you're an artist who's just getting started out and you don't want to
Don't use Ethereum. Don't use Ethereum. Don't use Ethereum. Don't use Ethereum.
But you want it to be on it, but you want it to be on Ethereum because you want people to have it on the place where you think that things would be more
Ethereum is the
accessible.
Scientology of blockchain. It's too expensive for us to believe in it. I can't afford to be a part of that cult, and most people cannot either, and they're going to go broke trying to join the Scientology of blockchain that is Ethereum. It's going to fucking ruin people.
I don't know. I hang out on layer 2 all the time.
I'm watching people go broke trying to make their first NFT, hoping that somebody gives them money for it. I feel bad for these people. If you're new and you're just starting out, use any other fucking blockchain. Use BSV. I don't care. Anything's better than Ethereum. And then if you get momentum, you get followers, you get collectors, you are selling little knickknacks on other blockchains, take the fucking money you made and then use that on Ethereum if you really want to do high-end expensive stuff. But I definitely would not start trying as an artist to get your art into the Louvre, or some big major art gallery. Wouldn't you go to your local art gallery where it's a lot cheaper to try to get your art out and known?
Well, maybe you want to mint on layer 2, and then if people think that they're valuable enough, let them move them to layer 1.
Then at that
way you
point,
don't have
just
to
post
incur
a
the
fucking
expenses.
JPEG and say, hey, if you want, I'll mint this. Give me the Ethereum and I'll pay the gas and then I'll mint it for you. It's the same shit. Just post it on Instagram and say, hey, send me money and I'll make this an NFT and send it to you.
But Ken, don't you think in this narcissistic culture that we live in, that everyone is going to think that their artwork now belongs in the Louvre to some extent?
Mine does. Come on, put it in there, Louvre.
I mean, everyone,
This is where the Zen vibe things comes in, and you're exactly right, Steve. They'll have digital picture frames all over the Louvre and other art museums, and they'll be live, active, moving, rotating artists on display. These museums won't be static. They'll be living and constantly evolving. Probably every second, somebody's art will be being displayed in the Louvre. It won't be permanently up there. Everybody will have a second of fame in that museum.
But I should be talking about Crypto Cake, but we're talking about Zen.
No, I wanted to get into that for sure.
But we are like in the process of potentially doing something with him. So technically, yes.
Epic.
But I kind of see that his posters more as something that just, if the price goes down to like $200-$300, you can be on every person's wall around the world.
Yes.
That's how I see it. Less of a museum thing. That's like, or billboards, just like the average person that can just put it on their wall. That's where I think the value is personally.
Yeah, I would have several of them right now if they're at a certain price point.
Well, the keychains are only $100. You can have a dope Zen Vibe keychain for $100.
That's cool. It's like showing somebody a picture on your phone, though. Like they're like, all right.
Yeah, but they don't exactly. But they don't. So, I mean,
I want the big screen.
Do you remember how Snapchat used to work when it first came out? You couldn't upload anything that you already recorded or it had to be live and in the moment.
Oh yeah, okay.
Instagram was kind of the same way, but Snapchat was very focused on if it wasn't recorded at the time, you couldn't upload it. So it had to be live, unedited, real, raw. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That way Snapchat kind of did that, and then they left. I think that's where they lost a lot of their difference and just became like everybody else. Zen Vibes is going to be, they could either do that, do what everyone else is doing, make it cheap and put it on everyone's wall, or they could be that high end thing that's a status symbol and let somebody else sell the cheap versions. I don't know. They could go the right. They could do both, but I mean, iPhone doesn't sell a $50 option. Only Android does that. You know what I mean? Like Apple only, the cheapest Apple phone you can get every year is usually $500 to $600, and they don't give a fuck about the people that can't afford it. Go buy a fucking Android for $50.
Well, they don't want to leave all that money on the table when they know that you're going to buy it for $900 anyway.
Yeah, you see fucking homeless people buy with iPhones.
Yep.
It's hilarious.
So that means you don't have to cheapen yourself. You know what I mean? That's why I see
Right.
Zen Vibes.
No, I get what you're saying.
They could do something that blends in with everybody else, or they could keep doing their own thing.
They would be devaluing their product because their product is so good.
Not necessarily, but
Product is very.
I mean, opinions. I mean, just because something's less money doesn't mean it's not no good. I mean.
Oh, I know, but it's like Tesla. Like part of the allure and the mystique of owning a Tesla is the fact that like maybe not everybody can get one. I mean, if it was just like a Honda or a Toyota, like people avoid those brands at times if they have a higher income just because they don't want to be like everyone else.
Yeah,
no,
that's the point.
It is good to like differentiate yourself with that marketing of price and like, all right, we're this luxe brand or we're this like kind of,
Well, look at Supreme. Look at Supreme. If you want a pair of underwear, it's like $500. You know what I mean?
That's good underwear, bro.
Just Supreme alone is like kind of like to me one of those brands that I really do admire. They're like you can give us $1,000 for a hoodie, or you could go buy one somewhere. I don't care. Yeah, a brick, exactly.
They'll sell you a brick with the word Supreme on it. They've merchandised everything that you can think of, like a fire hydrant. Check.
Didn't Tiffany's learn from them too? And they did like a fucking couple $1,000 bowl of yarn.
Yeah, they're learning. Yeah. Just put your name out. Like people just want your brand.
Right. That's why I think if Zen
and that's
Vibes,
actually really important.
Zen Vibes sticks to that price point, they'll be at that. That's why I'm thinking, or somebody.
It'll be the Gucci of like picture frames.
Yes, the Gucci of picture frames.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, but this is the NFT, I mean, it's not the NFT that makes it unique, that it can store it in it. There's no caster that can store an NFT right now.
Well,
I think
Infinite Objects. There are a few. Infinite Objects, Zen Vibes, and I've seen other brands that aren't just aren't there big yet to be commercial. They're just like, Kickstarter level things, but they're obviously there's going to be a lot of things like this coming out. It's a great idea.
Yep.
And Zen Vibes is just great because they got first to market, early opportunity, killer execution, beautiful designed frames, and I love their website. So yeah, shout out to them. But I did want to get back to CryptoCakeTV real quick because I'm happy to have Nicole here. She's sort of like an investigative journalist at heart, so it's good to have her here. I wanted to talk a little bit about because we were supposed to do something today with CryptoCakeTV and myself and somebody, and actually wanted to use this opportunity to let everybody know that I'll be doing a weekly show on CryptoCakeTV. So go ahead and subscribe to them on YouTube. Get ready for an NFT show. It's going to be dope. But today we couldn't really do what we were planning on doing, which was kind of publicly announced by CryptoCakeTV. So I wanted to give Steve a chance to talk a little bit about that, and maybe Nicole can ask all the cool journalistical questions.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Can we lead up with some music? Because it's kind of dramatic. Just 2 seconds.
Do you have a drum roll? Do we have to go to the moon again?
Somebody literally just gave us a super chat and made a bong drum roll right then and there.
Bong drum roll. Okay.
Good.
There's some drama. So okay. Whenever you're. So do you want to, Nicole? You want to ask me questions, or should just speak as to what happened first?
You want me to speak as to what happened?
No. Do you want to ask me questions first, or you don't know what happened?
No, she doesn't know. That's what I mean. I want you to just
be like, "Yo, dog, what happened?"
Okay, okay. Here we go.
And then I'll come up with questions as we go.
Got it. Okay, I didn't know if you had a background on what's going on. Okay, well, I'm gonna have basically I'm gonna explain what happened, and I've learned a lot of lessons going through this sort of experience. And I seriously haven't slept in the last 3 days as to okay. I mean, sleep's overrated. But what had happened is I had worked with someone about 11 years ago, and my intention is not to throw her under the bus, but I did a television show with her, and it was a reality show based around her, and it was quasi successful. Sony purchased it, And then she ended up managing sort of like these viral sensations. So we had we were about to produce two streaming shows, one called CryptoClout with Crypto Daily, and the other one, NFTs with Kenn Bosak. And I made the connection, or maybe the stupid idea, to give her a call and see if we can do NFTs around one of her clients. And one of her clients was Dogface. Now, are you familiar with that viral video of 2020 where he was on a skateboard lip singing to Dreams? Okay, everyone is familiar with this. It was, he's made about $1 million or $2 million off his viral success. Totally accidentally famous. No intention. Like this dude won the lottery. Charming guy, just lip singing, drinking ocean spray to Dreams. And the next day he wakes up, with the biggest viral sensation of 2020. He was in the presidential inauguration. So my idea was to get him interviewed and then also find NFT artists to do art around him. And then also sell the original IP of him skateboarding, just convert it to an NFT and sell it as a museum piece. Okay. So he was essentially booked for the interview. And then we negotiated, just kind of a handshake, a 50-50 deal on the IP. And we would sort of guide them through the marketplaces. And then greed set in. I get calls. You could sell the IP for $1 million. You're going to make $500,000 off this. And I'm like, oh my God, and I'm thinking, geez. And then I'm getting kind of a little flack from the community, like, oh, you're just in it for the money. This is going to ruin your brand. So, on the one hand, I got kids and there's nothing wrong with making money. And, certainly there's this sort of paradox within the NFT world where it's about the money, but it's not about the money. And it's just sort of this interesting kind of paradox. And then other people start approaching her and and saying, we can do it for less. And then I get a call back and she's like, you're only getting 15%. There are people who will do this for free. I'll do you a favor. And no art. No, just tell your artist to screw off. We don't want the art. We just want to do the IP of the original video and just be happy with your 15%. Meanwhile, I made a press release saying that we're doing these interviews. And then the artists are pissed and everyone's pissed. And I'm just like, forget it. Just keep 100% of it. It's too much of a headache. Now I'm probably a fucking moron because it's probably to sell for $2 million and who cares? And, but at the same time, it's like, I'm an asshole either way, because if it sells, I'm a sellout. And if I don't sell, I'm stupid. And then, but what irks me the most is they cancel the interviews because, we were set up to do these interviews.
I was hyped, dude. I looked into this dude for like 3 whole days, bro. I'm annoyed at how much I know about Dogface. Fuck that dude at this point.
I know, me too. Me too,
because I talk to him because I did all the homework. I gotta put it to use.
I did some background on part of this too, and I was kind of, when I learned like maybe it wasn't happening, I didn't know for sure, but I've been disappointed a little bit. I think a lot of people are disappointed because
I kind of seen, before Nicole jumps in, I did kind of see, the meme community really getting together and creating their own like union. It started with like Nyan Cat, Twerky Pepe kind of really started that, campaign, and they are doing it for free. There's an entire community for meme artists, the original memers, like Scumbag Steve even, he joined this community, and for completely free, they did help him create an NFT and sell it, and he made like 50 grand on his first NFT ever, just because of this community. So like I could see where they were coming from, because they were probably reached out to by that meme community that's like, hey, we'll do it for free just out of love and blah 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 blah, and they probably saw that and was like, well, fuck everything we promised, Steve and all the artists that already worked on everything. We're about to get this done for free. So yeah, I think you did the more honorable thing by like just saying, you know what, fuck it, and just detaching yourself from it completely. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, if it sells for 10 million, trust me, I'm going to be kicking myself a little. I mean, it's just, there's a little bit, I mean, I'm a human being, but because she wanted to just give me the 15% because we go way back, but I mean, it's the right thing to do, and who knows, it might not sell for anything, it goes on the wearable,
bro.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is like, the most viral moment of 2020.
I mean, he's not Soulja Boy.
That's true.
That's a dig.
I was trying to explain that to Steve when he was talking about this. Like, these one-hit wonders, it's cool and all, but even, Lindsay Lohan isn't getting that much for her NFTs. Just saying. So, what do you think, Nicole?
No, I hear you, but I just think it's more of I mean, it's more of like a historical moment is what I'm thinking, because it's 2020 and what everything happened. But I get what you're saying. It's D- list, kind of like the same kind of a D list. What I got in school, my grades in school, same thing. So just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, people really like that. Like, not a typical celebrity, just kind of, a real guy on a skateboard.
Yes.
Yeah, I was more making fun of Soulja Boy merchandising, like everything. He's the Gene Simmons of hip hop. He's like, he's got his face on lunch boxes and like,
yeah,
like literally everything.
Yeah, but like, how many people like that? I don't know. I guess I haven't really been paying attention. But
not a ton.
I think people like that, dog faced guy, and that's a, gonna probably be a, iconic.
Dog face is way cooler. I'll say that. That's my point.
Well, the thing is, though, he's raised a lot of money outside of crypto and NFTs already with this, viral hit of his. And, I just hope he goes about this the right way. Like I was talking to Steve when he mentioned, I was like, I hope he has a charity picked out that, he's going to give back to the community, because a lot of these people, I'm even saying, like, I'm wondering whose NFT is he buying? What meme will he buy? What other artist or content creator or meme or will Dogface support? And just like when I look at celebrities, even like Soulja Boy, I'm wondering whose NFTs are these celebrities buying, and are they supporting the OGs in the space in their own industries?
No, they're not. They're just trying to kind of ride on those coattails.
That's why I love rappers that collab with underground artists.
Hop in now.
When you see a popular rapper collab with somebody who's only got like a YouTube channel, I'm like, damn, they didn't lose touch with their roots. That's real.
I'd like to see a lot of the older rappers come out with NFTs like Chingy or Petey Pablo. You remember? He's like one-hit wonders of hip hop. Like, we're talking about one-hit wonders. That's the part that could actually sell. Is like, you take a one-hit wonder from a large market, like the guy that looked like Ted Cruz from that one rock band or something. Just weird stuff. It sells.
So I wanted to give the stage to Nicole, bro.
Totes.
Sorry, what?
I want to give the stage to you real quick so you can ask Steve some questions.
I have two questions.
Sure.
The first one is, would any of you work with Dogface now for free? Like, would you interview him for free?
Yeah.
Would you work, would you work with him without any kind of compensation, just because of the, exposure that it would bring, and, because of the NFT community and all that?
I mean, that was the original plan. And then I had the idea to make an NFT. I mean, Gina would have never, the manager would have never even known what an NFT is, I think, without me. I mean, the world will never know it was me that had brought it to her, but but yeah, I mean, that was the original plan, to just have him come on and talk about crypto and talk about, and that's it. And, and he would get his opinion and maybe introduce him to the world of NFTs. That was the original plan. And he would then put it on his social media page to essentially, market our channel to a certain degree, or to get awareness for our channel. So yes, of course we would interview him for free, but he canceled. He wouldn't even do that.
He wouldn't even do it for free? Okay.
After, I mean, we had negotiated that he would come on. Like I told you the whole story. He was going to come. And that's why I turned down the 15%, because he didn't want to do the interview.
Mm-hmm. So. Okay, that's unfortunate. That's too bad.
Yep.
All right, my next question is related to this, but also gets into the, other ideas about NFTs. What do you guys know about, people selling these NFTs for outrageous amounts, but it's not really because people are collecting the art, it's because they're using them as a money laundering scheme?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've talked about this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you know, for hypothetical purposes, you know, if you're selling a bunch of drugs on the deep web and you got a bunch of crypto and all you know you did was get it from selling drugs, how do you buy a Lamborghini without, you know, raising red flags? Oh, okay, you make a meme, buy it from yourself for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then all you have to do is say, "Hey, I sold an NFT, pay capital gains on that," and you just washed all your money.
Yep.
That's what people are doing right now. 100%. Celebrities have been doing it through the traditional art world for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they'll
So
buy art that goes to charity. They know that this art's being donated to charity auction, so they get to write it off. They get to own the art, and then they fucking sell the art again as another thing to charity, and they keep getting all these write-offs and tax exemptions through art. It's already a
so
thing.
that was my next question was how are we going to do this for how are we going to exploit this for tax exemption?
Well, what this is doing is making taxation obsolete and irrelevant and impossible to enforce. You know, the whole reason we have recreational cannabis is because they got to a point they couldn't enforce it reasonably, and the people that kept, you know, breaking the rule outweighed the amount of people that could enforce it. I think if we start to see these celebrities and 5-year-olds not paying taxes on their NFTs, then taxation is irrelevant to everybody.
Well, that was your point. I think the last time that we talked, Ken, is you were like, you got to get your daughter incriminated, like incriminate the children.
Yeah, we have to incriminate the children.
Kind of need to.
Yeah, the more kids that make NFTs, the more of them I buy, and the less I feel, you know, like the governments will have the ability to, you know, reap any kind of, you know, consequences to the children. You know, could you imagine how that would look? You know what I mean? Like in general, and trying to go after parents because some kid's really good at Fortnite and he sold a rare skin that he got in Fortnite for $100,000, didn't tell his mom and dad, and he just started, you know, buying other in-game skins, and next thing you know, his portfolio is worth $10 million by the time he's 13 and never told anybody. Like, you know, like what? How do you enforce these things, right? You're right. It's going to be irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Do you honestly think that the road to decentralization will lead to no taxes for everyone?
Mhm.
You think that's the outcome?
Probably.
How long?
We're replacing it with voluntary taxation, and that's been going bigger and bigger, especially during this pandemic. Look at how much more money the lottery system has gained during this lockdown. Lottery is a voluntary tax. People are voluntarily giving their fucking money away every day when they play their lucky numbers. The more government loses the ability for mandatory taxation, they'll gamify the voluntary taxation, and as well as they'll get into mining crypto. We'll see government pools, government mining facilities.
Yeah.
If they want to earn money for every time I send crypto from A to B, who gets that tax, that transaction fee? It's the miners. So if they want taxation, they have to join what we opt in to pay when we pay taxation with full representation by securing the blockchain and being a miner.
Yeah, we are
Bunch
brute
of
forcing
5-year-old
the
libertarians.
system.
What if we don't move to a proof of work blockchain?
They'll just have to buy a bunch of shit and figure it out, you know, or they'll steal people's shit. You know, it's our government, right? They'll just go knocking on doors and say, hey, all your equipment's ours now, seized by the government, U.S. property. It's not hard. They do it all the damn time. All of the
They've
time.
never needed a reason before. I mean, there's plenty of examples where they just take things all the time, so it wouldn't be anything new.
Yeah, if you look at the space race, you know, when we were trying to race Russia to the moon, we were stealing thought leaders, right? We were taking scientists from other industries and making them work on space engineering, and if they choose not to, it would be treason. We were
But even worse than
them
that,
to do it. Our government
even worse than that, we've
forced
taken
it.
people like Werner von Braun and let them create NASA when they're like on trial for crimes against humanity for stuff that they did during World War II. So like our government has a history of doing this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be anything new, is my point.
Yep.
Yeah.
As long as it's beneficial to the system itself.
And I mean,
and
as many people
protects
use
them.
Coinbase and Gemini and all these centralized exchanges, just like what happened, you know, with the banking in Greece, they're just going to go to these centralized U.S. exchanges and say, you know what, we need the money. Our government needs to get a bailout by the citizens. We're taking all their fucking crypto. And every exchange is centralized will give the government all your Bitcoin, just like all the gold reserves gave the government your gold when they wanted to go to the fucking the fiat standard and leave the gold standard. They just gave away your gold to the government because they said if you don't give us your gold, it's fucking treason.
That's a pretty solid line.
That's authoritarianism at its maximum.
Well, that's what we're dealing with, is that in our attempt to break free, we might encourage them to kind of grip us down a little tighter. So, I mean, it's pretty typical throughout history when you have like a free society rise up. They either it goes really, really, really good, or they get taken down a peg. And it's just about how much control are you fighting?
Yep.
Like how much power are you going against? Are you the immovable object working against the unstoppable force? Or can you be walked over?
That's why I'm very afraid of, even with the wax and everything too, and whatever EOS, any of these blockchain projects that have, founders and CEOs that are public figures, like all of that is like, broken from inception. They're just. The first interview I ever had with Charlie Lee was in like 2016, and I said, Charlie, what are you gonna do when they black bag you? And, they fucking force you to start, and he's like, yeah, that would be up to the developers to take my word on things and implement them. I'm like, yeah, but if it's coming from you with a gun to your head and sounds like you and you're really trying to convince them, they'll implement something and not realize it. And now I'm just saying, like, I worry about these projects like that have Vitalik at the end. I remember in 2017 when he died in a car accident, the market crashed 300% instantly. Boom, like that. So just imagine how this is going to play out when the government start to really fight back at it. And I do worry about NFTs using, centralized servers for their art. I really do hope Beeple understands that his fucking image backed by that token is not decentralized. It's not Bitcoin. That $69 million NFT is as secure as a fucking Dropbox download. All NFTs are at this point.
Yeah, what if it's not an IPFS or something?
Even if it is IPFS, though, it's still fucking dangerous. They can still blacklist it. And that's the point. Like,
that's your best option is still incredibly vulnerable.
Right. So, like, we're gonna see like blockchains like Filecoin, Sia, or something like that, where these if you really want to have your image hosted, you're gonna have to put that image on a blockchain and then have the API for your NFT call from that blockchain. And even then, what happens if people stop running it, or there's a vulnerability, it forks, and you have to update your NFT's API call because the blockchain forked? There's so many problems still to this day. I can't say it enough. We're in beta, and all of this could literally go up in flames tomorrow when one thing goes wrong. We're really fragile. It's really, really fragile.
Yeah, it's a house of cards for sure. We're all just like rushing into this burning like house.
That's why it has to just be for fun. It can't be for $69 million invest. It's supposed to be for funsies.
Yeah, it's got to be for fun.
The people that are coming in here thinking it's gonna, they're the ones who are thinking it is something else rather than accepting it for what it is, are the ones that are gonna get hurt.
So what about real world NFTs, like enterprise NFTs, real estate, oil and other, things like that?
I mean, sure, why not? There's stocks for it and everything else.
But these are like good use cases.
But it's still garbage in, garbage out. It doesn't, just because I have an NFT for a barrel of oil that's supposed to be at X% of whatever different crude, right? Like, that doesn't mean when I get that barrel of oil delivered, it will be what the NFT said it was. It could be a completely other thing, right? It's still garbage in, garbage out when it comes to taking physical things and making NFTs out of it. If you have a refrigerator in the back of a delivery truck that's supposed to tell the, whatever, that the temperature went low, the meat went bad or whatever, like the garbage in, garbage out, though, is still going to be a problem. If there's any way of, tinkering around with these things, we have to have IoT that is immutable. And right now we don't really have that, but the Internet of Things is being built to facilitate something that could make this easier. But right now, it's all trust-based. All that, it's making an NFT for a house is still a trusted system. You know, people keep saying, oh, they'll come and take your house because the title is in the municipal building down the street. And I'm like, even if it's a fucking NFT, who cares? They're still going to take your house, you dumbass. And you're going to have an NFT that they do not acknowledge. They just don't acknowledge it. Just like they wouldn't acknowledge the deed to your house if they just wanted to say it's not acknowledgeable. So,
yeah, the guy with the gun will be like, hey, let me see that. And he'll show his buddy and they'll laugh,
the guy with the
and
gun.
he'll hand it back to you. They're going to laugh. Hey, look, he owns the house. And they're going to hand you it back.
It doesn't matter if, you know, if you have a pair of shoes and there's an NFT that are supposed to be paired to the pair of shoes. Counterfeiting will still occur. There's going to always be something. I mean, this is all very early. It's going to take a decade to even get to a point where we might be able to answer that, you know, more thoroughly. This is a whole 10-year beta test.
Humans will always be humans. That's the thing. So no matter how much technology changes, you know, if humans still are humans, then fucked up shit's going to happen. But if we have sort of a consciousness shift as the technology increases, that's what needs to happen for trust to occur.
Social currency is creating a consciousness shift. People realize that if you're not a piece of shit and you're in a position of, you know, needing help, people would help you very easily. Like, you know, how many people love to fund Kickstarters and GoFundMes and join Patreons to help kids get, you know, chemo. And when the government's telling you that your child's not worth us giving you the money to save your kid's life, complete fucking strangers will give you that money because they believe it's worth saving your kid's life. I think that, you know, we could see those utilities come to NFTs and things. People want to support each other. So we're seeing that whole like Chinese social, you know, fucking record system. Like, we're playing that out with NFTs. If I'm a racist piece of shit, bigot fucking asshole, who's going to buy my NFTs and support me? And people are going to see that and be like, wow, like, you know, if you're a good person, you can, you know, do good things with your community, blah, blah, blah. People support. Like, let me do that. Let me be a good person. Let me support people and see if that works for me too. And oh my God, it is. And that keeps growing and growing. So I think we are headed to that society where people, money will be obsolete. And that's because fucking love is the answer.
It is the answer.
Well, you know,
I love you, Steve.
I love you too.
Love you, nerd girl.
That's why I made hugs. Do you remember hugs, Ken?
Yep. I huddle hugs.
You know, I made a cryptocurrency. It's called Hugs. I'll send
hugging
you.
I'm hugging you all.
If you like, yes.
Feels good.
Yeah, if you want some hugs, comment your Simple Ledger Protocol Bitcoin Cash address. If you have a Bitcoin Cash wallet, get your Bitcoin Cash address with your Simple Ledger Protocol receiving address. Comment that below, and Nicole will send everybody some hugs.
But it does need to be an SLP.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, this is why I laughed when I saw Elon Musk tell Beeple, you know, I don't want $69 million. I want 420 million Doge. It's because money's irrelevant and obsolete, and people rather have JPEGs than physical dollar bills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like I'd rather have unicorns than fairies today. I think at the end of the day, we just got to be careful because we're all walking around like, oh, I can fly. And the government could kick us out of the plane and be like, do it. So I just think like that's the thing. Bring it back to NFTs. I just wanted to bring up there is this kind of like it's never going to end thing going on. And as an artist, like I think I got lucky to get into this when I did. But I'm scared for all like the artists. Like we're talking about incriminate the young people, get them into NFTs. I'm worried about expectations a lot and kind of the monsters that could be created too by young success and kind of parents and managers mismanaging the funds of these young people. And the same thing that we see with like, you know, any child star, you name it. We're going to see these issues in a lot of the like when the 5 or 10-year-old Beeple comes out, everybody's like spending millions of dollars because this kid's a genius and somebody mishandles that. Like we're going to see such a disaster. I'm hoping that we think ahead because we seem to be doing a good job of thinking ahead in this space right now. So I want to talk about it so people don't forget about it, and I just like to bring it.
The kids have a better shot, don't they?
Deposits are cool.
What's that?
Go ahead, Nicole.
So like that's kind of why I think that blockchain time deposits are cool. It's, you know, a way that you could potentially say you're going to take whatever kid, whoever's earnings it is, and then, you know, stake that so that it earns interest
Yeah.
while the kid is, growing up, and then nobody can spend or misallocate those funds because they're not mature until the child is an adult.
I see a future where that kid doesn't
That's
have to
beautiful.
go to a project like Hex to do that. They could have their own coin and their own staking, their own liquidity, and I'll be able to provide liquidity to that random kid's pool and stake in their, and they'll be able to stake their own thing with their own stuff, and they'll have their own version of all of this stuff that's out right now, I think, truly.
Yeah. Oh no, totally. I mean, like right now, right now time deposits are Hex,
Yep.
But that doesn't mean that it always has to be that way.
No, but they clearly built a great roadmap that said,
it's good.
If you want to make your own
Good
coin
idea.
and do your own thing, like I've seen coin artists do a lot of amazing stuff with staking her own coin and farming her NFTs, and by the time a few years from now, the ease of use of this. It's like any kid that's like, in 5th grade can make a website thanks to GoDaddy, right? They made it so user friendly. And now with marketplaces like Atomic Hub, kids can create NFTs very easily. And the ease of use to eventually create their own blockchain and their own liquidity pools and their own dexes, and all that will be as seamless and easy as all this other stuff is today too, as well, over time. So that's why I'm excited to see that future be played out, where it's like, well, this kid could be like the next Michael Jordan or the next LeBron James or whatever, right? And now I could see the way that they're playing on like TV and high school games, and I'm like, yo, shit, let me go provide some liquidity to this kid's pool and watch that grow. And now I could get their high school basketball moment NFTs of them dunking on kids, and next thing you know, 20 years later, they're dunking on professionals in the NBA, and people are buying their rookie cards, but I have their like before rookie cards, when they were kid cards. That's where I think what Nathan was getting at earlier is like, imagine having that LeBron James, imagine having a picture with LeBron James when he was in high school and you have a selfie with him. How much that would be worth if he signed it back then as a kid now.
Wow.
Yeah, it'd be pretty incredible.
Jasper posted a simple ledger protocol in the chat.
Who did?
This brings in a whole new kind of era of branding, essentially. Like, people can brand themselves in a way that's kind of reliable and offers them like a reasonable expectation that they're going to be successful if they play their cards right.
Yep.
So, and that's so rare. Like, you have to do all that plus pray and hope to God that the entertainment gods let you in and people approve of you, and then you say all the right things to everybody, and then you get your stuff in the right place. So like, I'm really good at navigating this stuff, and I still haven't been able to get that.
I'm curious what Steve's thoughts are on how like a media company like CryptoCakeTV, as a catalyst for a proof of concept, could inspire like Spike TV or Fox FX or whatever, right? To kind of follow that roadmap of a media platform utilizing NFTs. Just curious, like how you see like where a media company and content creating platform like CryptoCake could extrapolate and kind of play with NFTs in this space right now.
I think like the cable televisions of the world will never adopt. They'll just die, personally. And 4 years ago or 3.5 years ago when we started the company, I think there was more of a use case for a mainstream television channel to be on cable TV or any of those platforms, to be carried as a channel. And I think we're about 10 to 15 years away from all that dying out, but there's still a need for it right now. So I don't think NFTs will necessarily be involved with cable television. It'll be more with decentralized internet and social media and websites. I don't think there'll be any involvement unless they're talking about it, but there won't be any interaction. Does that make sense? Kind of.
Yeah. I don't think there's a need to have the Avenger movies on a decentralized blockchain as a full NFT media file that's 5 gigs for whatever. I think they're doing things interestingly with the collectibles and the way like the NBA Top Shot's doing moments. I think we could see like we saw with the dog face, right? He had a viral moment, right? But not everything in his fucking life needs to be an NFT. I think that media is going to see the same thing and say, hey, wait, this scene was really popular, or this like scene
Got-
kind
yeah.
of became a meme. So like
I-
they're going to
now I
take
understand.
scenes of the whole
Yep.
show and just have a clip. And now you could buy your
Yeah.
favorite clip of The Office, or, there's all these gags from different TV shows that are pretty running, right? Like The Simpsons. They have the couch gag reel. How many different scenes do they have of The Simpsons getting on the couch? All those little
Yeah.
clips could be GIFs, and those GIFs could be NFTs. The whole show doesn't have to fucking be on IPFS. But, these clips and all that stuff, and I think that media, they have a treasure trove of content that they just need to figure out how do we clip it, snip it, gamify it, and then distribute it as an NFT, where now if you collect all the Simpsons couch scenes and you have all of them, you can, redeem them for an original couch scene that hasn't yet been aired on TV yet or something for an upcoming episode. Or you can create your own couch scene if you want and get your own character into a Simpsons couch gag or whatever by collecting all. The gamification is really, again, it's a trust factor. It's up to the guy or the company distributing it. But you can say if this, then that for anything that you tokenize. If you buy this, then you can do that.
Right. I mean, I could maybe see like the Netflix of NFTs, like a streaming platform.
Well, they would
where
tokenize their subscriptions. Why can't I transfer
Right.
my subscription to my mom when I'm not watching Netflix? But I can give her my email and add her as a profile. It's the same
but
thing.
I'm talking about a creator who can create a television series, but doesn't have to go through the pitch process of going through the hierarchy.
Raising money, of course. I could say
just have a show. And it's your own show, and you hire your own crew, and you just put it up there.
CryptoCakeTV could do this too. If you want to get your name on the opening credits of every piece of media that's displayed on CryptoCakeTV's YouTube channel, you have to buy this NFT for $10,000, and then you can have your name or your company as a sponsor of CryptoCakeTV for 10 grand. And buying this NFT, you could sell 10 of those NFTs for 10 grand each. Have 10 names displayed at the beginning of everything. And now you have no investors, you just have NFT holders.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have built-in competition for these spots either. A lot of old school relationships take these spots.
I've been doing a similar thing. Every NFT that I've been selling, the money is going towards like getting more content of me. I'm getting my own comic book, my own cartoon series. I'm talking to somebody about a fucking movie. Like I'm investing in myself when it comes to what I'm selling, and I don't know.
But what I mean, you guys seen Breaking Bad? I'm assuming, right? It's one of the greatest shows in the last 5 10 years.
Yeah, they taught me that etch and sketches have thermite, and thermite's way more fun than anybody in school ever taught me.
Yeah, they taught Ken how to cook meth too. Look at his garage back there. Okay. It's crazy.
Maybe a bad example since I'm publicly traded, but But my point is that maybe there's a filmmaker and a writer that could create something as great as Breaking Bad, or as wonderful as any television series you can think of, MASH, anything. But they never had the maybe connections or the salesmanship in a way to get it to the Netflix or to get it to the HBO.
Well, that's how Netflix used to be, man. And people were just popular on YouTube, and Netflix just said, "Hey, make a movie," and they became way too elite for that now. But Super Troopers 2 is my favorite example of this. Super Troopers 2, all the money they used for the movie was Kickstarter, and people just bought t-shirts, and so many people bought t-shirts that they had enough money to make a full Hollywood feature film without any fucking investors breathing down their neck saying like, "Oh, I don't think this bit's good for us because we're investors. I don't think that's going to be, a good PR move for us. Maybe you could change that joke too." You don't have any of that. You just have money now, and people have your t-shirt, and that's all they wanted. You don't have any obligations. You said, "Here's the t-shirt, give me your money, and we'll make a movie." Obligations ended when they got their t-shirt. Obligations end when I get the NFT.
Mm-hmm. Hey, so some of this is why I really wanted you to talk to Chromia today, Ken, because have you looked at all at their advanced features NFTs?
I was waiting until after we talked because I like talking to people kind of as like I have no idea, so I ask all the right questions and don't skip something because I already learned that thing by looking into it. So I always like to talk to people sort of not knowing too much, especially projects.
Yeah.
Research.
No, I hate research because it kind of taints that natural conversation that you have. I'd rather just run into somebody at a conference and say, "Oh, this is what you do," blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, you skip details that are important for everyone else because you already know them, and then they're not going to get like the good basic stuff that you need to
Right,
explain.
I
to
don't
everyone.
genuinely get to meet somebody because I did yeah, that's the thing with Dogface. Like, dude, I already know you, bro. We might as well talk at this point.
Yeah, like there's no hard feelings either. People like would I'm assuming they would be like, oh, aren't you man? It's like no, like
So
dude's a cool guy.
Nicole, what's up with them? Let's talk a little bit because I'm assuming hopefully they will be on the show soon. So
Yeah, definitely. So advanced features NFTs, this is what I think this is really interesting. So the way that these NFTs are constructed because of Chromia's because it's a high performance blockchain and scales, that the NFTs are able to have these special properties where, like, let's say it's a video game NFT, and I don't know, for instance, it's Animal Crossing, and you've got a fishing pole. And the fishing pole can only fish, I don't know, 20 times before it's going to break because, like things like that. So each item within the game would have a limited number of uses. And you could even sell it or transfer it to someone else, but the number of uses that it would still have would be the same.
I play a game like that already, actually, that uses wax NFTs. It's called Alien Worlds, and you can get different level of like tools like shovels or whatever, and they eventually break and you have to get like another one and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty cool that they're doing that.
Yeah.
So do they like eventually burn and are actually like completely destroyed and
Yep.
Okay, that's a little different. That's awesome. So you can't buy an NFT that has 0 uses left in it, and you can't buy a broken tool.
Right, yeah. And then what's also cool is that the NFTs can exist on 3 chains at once. So they would only be able to actually function while they're in gameplay, like on Chromia, but you could purchase the NFTs right now on BSC and on Ethereum. So like they can exist in 3 places at once, even though the only functional one exists within the game.
So they're doing an interoperable NFT platform. That's awesome. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of bridges being built where they're using smart contracts to sort of put things in escrow and mint a clone of it on another blockchain. So is the legacy blockchain theirs, or is the legacy Ethereum? Or I'm just curious, what's the original mint then where, because it can play on others, what's the original?
The original will be Chromia. So they're called Chromia Original.
Okay, that's what I see. I thought that was
this
is why I don't need to do research, bro.
So they're called Chromia Originals, and Chromia does have its own mainnet, but it's it's not the full mainnet, which that's coming Q2. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be kind of interesting. And also, speaking of building bridges, I don't know if you've heard of this yet, but I started a new show that's called Building Bridges.
No,
and
what?
Hey.
What? I've only done it twice. Tomorrow will be my 3rd week, and it's about establishing relationships between different crypto communities that have been damaged through everything that's gone on for the last 6 years.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was just thinking that there's like a lot I can think of.
You will not run out of people to talk to. I get it.
There's a lot of angry people.
But here's the thing: is that my sort of known affiliation with Hex has made it really difficult for me to talk to people.
Tribalism's tough, man. I get it. And
it is.
I don't know. I still get to have a little fun with the Hex community because Richard really hates NFTs. And I kind of, I'm like, I feel like he's where I was at with Hex when I didn't know better. I was like, oh, he sounds so ignorant. It's cute. I can't even be mad at him because I was really ignorant about Hex at that point when I was acting like an idiot too. And I get it. Everyone, it's a personal opinion. I don't, I really think people that buy pie are idiots. Pie is disgusting. Why would you buy pie when you could buy cake? Cake is such a better dessert. But that doesn't mean pie shouldn't exist, and you can't be allowed to do what you want with your money. So that's how I feel.
Pumpkin pie is gross.
It's not a pie, bro. It's a vegetable. It's a vegetable
thing.
I don't even know what to call it. Yeah, it's not a pie. You can't eat vegetables for dessert. You're weird.
Yeah, they just stepped on a pumpkin for like 2 hours, scraped it up with a shovel, threw it in the oven. It's pretty bad.
All right. Well, so what softened on NFTs? He said that NFTs as a fundraising mechanism, has no problem with it. And then also that the enterprise use NFTs he thinks are potentially very useful.
Has he seen my Hex
Absolutely.
NFT, Hexakin?
I don't know, but I will ask him the next time I talk to
Because
him.
you can stake my Hexakin NFT and stake the Hexken NFT and earn crypto from staking the NFT of me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty great.
Nice. Yeah, no, but so that's the thing is that like, even, like I have obviously been involved with the Hex community, but I've never been like exclusively Hexican, I mean, do you remember when you and I met, it was outside of that Ethereum conference and I had just come from a BSV conference.
I know.
And like, I've never been like stuck in one crypto. I've always been like,
I remember telling you I wouldn't tell anybody that.
Yeah, no. I know. And then you probably don't even know this. I think I told the story at the Hex conference, but like the next day at that Ethereum conference, when I realized that people were nicer to me at the BSV conference the day before than they would have been if if I were a BSV person coming to the ETH conference that day. And then I was crying in the bathroom and I told Vitalik's mom that everyone was way too hard on, because I didn't even know who she was, but she was like, asking me what was wrong. And I ended up just like going off about how things were so messed up and what had just happened, what I had just seen. And like, then I found out a couple hours later that was Vitalik's mom.
Yeah, she's a beautiful person. I mean, she was awesome. There was a misunderstanding, remember? I got kicked out of that conference, remember?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I didn't pay for a ticket because I don't pay for tickets. I just show the fuck up.
Why would you have to pay for a ticket? You're the Bosak.
I told him I would though because they told me it was going to charity or something. I was like, oh, I didn't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was for
Sorry.
the crypto chicks and kids and crypto thing, and I was like, oh, if I would have known that buying a ticket was a donation to kids
I'd
and
buy two.
crypto, oh yeah, exactly. And then at that point, Vitalik's mom was like, no, you're not allowed. I understand. Come on in. She was super nice, and I ended up just giving them some money in that room because they had a room full of kids that were doing like crypto shit, bro. Like you
upstairs, it was all girls. It was all girls.
All kids. Oh, smart kids, bro.
Yeah.
Little geniuses.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a charity thing, and you could send different coins to donate to them. So they had, like tools and stuff that they could play with and do different like dev kits and stuff. So I instead of having to pay for the ticket, I just donated some money in that little room. But yeah, that was a great event, and yeah, it was a cool memories. But like you said, when you came back from that BSV event and you were there, I told you, I wouldn't tell anybody because the tribalism around here is fucking thick. And
Yeah.
I told you I could care less, but like there's gonna be people here that if you say this to are gonna judge you.
No, but and I knew that. Like that's why I went to the BSV conference, because I needed to I was like, I told you that a lot of this comes from my life before crypto, where I was, living in Iran doing research on, rogue implementations of Sharia law. And so I saw the same kind of thing happening in crypto, and that's what got me in. I mean, that and the, manipulating my boyfriend with the price of it thing.
That was genius. Yeah. Where can people get that article? I forget, but let people know where they can go to read that, because that was an interesting one.
Yeah. So you can actually watch the video on my YouTube channel if you want to, or you can read the article on my Medium, and it's all the same, NrdGrl007.
Yeah, it's in the title, NrdGrl007. And yeah. I guess we could wrap things up here. I do want to let people know, I guess, Steve, Friday, right? We're going to do a thing. It's going to be a thing on CryptoCakeTV.
Friday, we'll be featuring NFT artists. We're going to be doing a little Bob Ross intro with you, featuring up-and-coming NFT artists and some public figures as well.
Yep, we're going to try to use this platform to raise the tides of all the ships, bros. Up-and-coming artists is the most important part of it. I figure, got over 2 million subscribers on CryptoCake. Might as well use it for good. And I want to, again, bring the up-and-coming artists to a spotlight. So tune in to CryptoCakeTV on Friday for the NFT show with me. And maybe you'll find a new NFT artist to fall in love with, or maybe you could be the NFT artist that's on display. Reach out to me in my Telegram, t.me/Kenn Bosak. And thanks, Jasper, for tuning in. Rex,
Jasper.
the Gex, thanks for stopping by. He said he doesn't even know how he got here, but he's from Chile. Thanks, bro. Scott,
Thanks, bro.
Jeremy Crow, Crypto Quandary, my bro. Thank you so much for tuning in.
My
and
manager.
by 2001 said, whoa. Linkara Crypto, thank you very much. Mellow Fellow for the $5 super chat said, preach on. Steve R82, my bro. BTC Kyle was in the house. He said something about a quick cash grab. What's up, Smart Digital Payments? I love you, bro. Thanks, Mike, for stopping
Love you,
by.
Mike.
Appreciate everybody. Sarah Rickert, thanks for stopping by. I've got my Facebook people coming in all of a sudden. We're in a bubble now. Thank you, Lee Yi Kang, for tuning in. Bit Trio, TC Dixon, Max. Oh, God, there's a lot of you today. Everybody, if I missed you, thank you so much for engaging in the chat. Appreciate it. And as always, have a day.
Have a day. We love you. We love you.
Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Kenn Bosak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Kenn Bosak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Kenn bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Kenn Bosak.